we had a few extra tricks in there for him.
Okay, makes sense. Frank, that second unit with LeBron went on an 8-0 run at Boston to start the fourth quarter. I believe it was 11-0 and then finished the third on a 5-0 run. What did you see from that group again, and then how key was that?
Yeah, it was a huge run, a key run for us. We got, again, just like you got four energy guys around Bron. And, Trez continues to finish at a high rate at the rim. Taylor's giving us a good lift. AC, I thought Kuz played really well, made some great extra passes, which was, when we struggled the last three games offensively, we wanted to return to that extra pass mindset. And, I thought Kuz led with regard to that in that stretch. But both games, that rotation is, one that worked for us.
And then last thing for me, just how about Schroeder and Caruso and KCP defensively, Frank, on getting into guys, getting steals, the crunch time plays. What did you see from your guards defensively?
Yeah, a lot of speed, a lot of scrappiness, a lot of hustle. I thought those guys did a really good job on Trae Young. We did a better job taking the ball out of his hands in the second half. And he's really, really difficult to guard. He's really difficult to guard without fouling him. We gave him his average on free throw attempts, 11, which is, I guess it's, could be better. But for their team, shot 17. So I think we did a good job with the rest of those guys. We took the ball out of Trae's hands, and he gives it to two of the bigs at the rim. Our guys swarming the paint, making those types of plays. But Alex, KCP, and Dennis were really good. Just trying to stay with Trae.
Dan?
Oh, thanks, Will. Happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
Frank, when you find a lineup like that works and stuff like that, how did that get cooked up in the first place? That five guys together, what were you hoping to get from that group? And then now that you've seen it work 2 games in a row, do you feel like, this is something that I think we can go to pretty regularly?
There's a lot of lineups I feel like we can go to. We got a lot of good players. We got two good players in Wes and Keith that didn't even play the last 2 games. That I would feel great about those guys being in there too. So it's just one of those things. It's I'm sure it's not going to work every night, but when we shrink the rotation, guys, aren't sitting on the bench as long for longer stretches, so you have less cold guys coming into the game, and I think our group benefited from those types of adjustments.
Dave?
Frank, did that exchange between the courtside fans and some of your players in the fourth quarter expose anything to you in terms of, the league has enacted protocols that the players must follow? You guys can't even hug the opponents after the games. Yet there's fans in the arenas that can take off their masks and yell at players.
Yeah, well, if that happened, then it certainly exposed something with regard to having fans in the pandemic. You obviously can't have fans taking a mask down and shouting at our players with the virus out there during these times. So, I don't know. I really don't know what happened on that play. Just relying on what you just told me. But I'm sure the league will take a good look at it.
Guess what, guys? LeBron scored 12 of his 21 points in the fourth, and he's now speaking with Mike and the media.
Hey, LeBron. First, basketball-wise, I wanted to ask you about that group, the kind of new group, you and the rest of the bench guys with THT and Caruso. It was an 8-0 run in the fourth quarter to start against Boston. Tonight it was 11-0, 16-0 if you include the third. What's going on with that unit, and why were you guys having success?
We just play extremely hard. We cover for one another, and we run. Myself, THT, Caruso, Kuz, and Trez. We got a lot of energy, a lot of speed, and we just play a lot of ourselves basketball. That's our whole team, but that group in particular.
And so you've got the Built by Black History shirt on. Obviously, Black History Month. You're there in Atlanta. I just wondered, LeBron, could you summarize this whole year, going back to George Floyd, the tragedy, everything that you went through, and now this Black History Month, what it means for you and just kind of for everybody?
To keep it all real with you, Mike, Black History Month is every month. They just happen to give us the shortest month of the year, but Black History Month is all 12 months for me. We celebrate Black excellence every single day of the year, 365 days, and go around my household and around the people, group of people I'm around. So, I love the fact that we get to celebrate it for a full month, and people, that may not know about it kind of come together and things. But at the end of the day, I celebrate Black excellence every single day. Black History Month, I would say, is Black History Day. 365 days of the year, 66 on the leap year. So that's just how we rock around here. And but it's cool to get it started now, and we'll just keep it going throughout the rest of the year and January of 22.
Are you feeling any more recognition of everything you just talked about this year?
I don't live my life trying to gain recognition for anything. You do what's right, you call out what's wrong, and you go from there.
Well, Brian, I wanted to get your take or your comment or your perspective on the interaction that occurred with the courtside fans who were kicked out, and did you feel like that interaction exposed any sort of loophole in the COVID protocol if fans can take off their masks to yell at a player?
No, at the end of the day, I'm happy fans are back in the building. I miss that interaction. I need that interaction. We as players need that interaction. I don't feel like it was warranted to be kicked out. There was a back and forth between two grown men, and which we said our piece. He said his piece. I said my piece, and then someone else jumped into it and said their piece. But I didn't think they were, should have been kicked out. But they might have had a couple of drinks maybe, and they could have probably kept it going, and the game wouldn't have been about the game no more. So I think the referees did what they had to do. It's fine. I don't think, taking down the mask or whatever the case may be at that point in time, would have harmed anybody but the people that was right next to her. I wasn't close enough to her. I don't think any of my teammates was close enough to them. Maybe a couple of refs, maybe. So I hope they're okay. But safety first.
Dan?
LeBron.
And you look like you about to ask me. You look like you're ready to fire off.
Well, it strikes me. It's as somebody you've said all year, like I want fans. I want to see fans. Does that get you more excited than when you see some people who are, like you said, a little willing to kind of tone those waters, whether it was in Cleveland or here, just seeing those faces that close to you?
Well, I mean, my guy tonight, I don't want to say he went overboard, but he went a little bit out of bounds, too close to comfort for me. And I said my piece, and we could have moved on. But I think it was so close to the officials. I think the official heard it as well, what he just said. And it kind of got blown out of proportion. It's just like sometimes on the floor when two guys get into a scuffle, or get into a little like jostling, and the refs come and try to break it up really fast, and it looks like it's bigger than what it really is. That's what it pretty much was tonight. But the difference, we're on the court and we're not having any alcoholic beverages. So they might have had some alcoholic beverages on the side, so that could have it made them feel a little tougher than what they really are, I would say.
But like to be clear, you were happy. You were happy that this happened, though, right? Like you enjoyed this.
Who, me?
Yes.
I love our fans, Laker Nation, and everybody else that's against Laker Nation. It just feels better. Fans in the stands it's just better. It's better for everybody, especially on the last game of a 14-day road trip.
Kyle?
Hey, LeBron, I'm gonna have to have an alcoholic beverage after this.
Me too. You ain't the only one.
But to